Hello, in this video we're going to start looking at some of the tools available for dealing with gradients that you might not want to have in your route. The first one of those is to limit the gradients both uphill and downhill. As this implies, we can set a threshold beyond which we don't want to go, both uphill and downhill. I can understand why you might want to limit going the uphills, but frankly downhill on a trainer isn't that scary. But there are some words of warning before we start using this. By default, the operation affects the track from the orange pointer to the end of the track. So given that the orange pointer is currently at the very start of the track, whatever I do now will affect the whole track. You can see that there are some steepish bits of road over here, and if I open the segment tab you can see that's a 14.65% gradient. So there's a couple of steepish bits in there that we want to get rid of, and indeed if I put the pointer back to the start and click the button, those have now gone. See, it's all yellow here, but you can also see that it's brought down the peak, and that's probably not what I wanted to do. So let me undo that and go back and show you what we have to do to correct that. Go to a point that you want to fix, say probably the top there, drop a marker there, and then bring your orange pointer back down to the point from where you wish to start smoothing, or limiting rather. So we now have a range of points on the route which corresponds to the hairpins. If I now apply the limits, you'll see that it has kept the elevation at the purple cone the same, and it's applied the limit of the gradient so that the elevation gains in the orange segments have been distributed evenly across the other segments in that route. Clearly that's not always possible, and therefore the results might surprise you, in which case there are ways to avoid that by, well, frankly, recognizing that it's not possible. Anyway, I might now wish to do a similar operation on the downhills. So if I do a similar thing, clear the marker, put it back to the point where I fixed it, and it will now, by default, because there is no other point, it will operate from there to the end of the tab, and that will smooth any particularly steep and scary downhill sections, of which frankly there aren't any, but you get the point. That's all there is to it. You may want to indulge in some experimentation to try and find the right starting point, so perhaps starting higher up the hill there to see what difference that makes. You will reach a point where it's not successful. There are other tools available which we'll be looking at later.